The exclusion of Cheteshwar Pujara from the Indian Test team that is set to tour the West Indies and play a two-test match series that will actually be the start of India's 2023 to 25 World Test Championship cycle has naturally left a lot of people divided. On one hand, many people can understand why it is that India would want to move on from the veteran batsman, who's of course been capped more than 100 times for India in the longest format of the game. On the other hand, there are many who believe that Pujara still has plenty of fight left in him, and just as team management have not given up on someone like Ajinkya Rahane, they should be extending the same level of faith towards Pujara as well. But does this exclusion from the West Indies test necessarily mean that the selectors have lost faith in Pujara? Not at all. In fact, it's quite the contrary, because Pujara's exclusion doesn't necessarily seem to be as much of scapegoating as it is a case of the team management, ensuring that younger players can get a bit of a look in, and the door is still very much open for Pujara. Here's how. First off, it is worth noting that the BCCI, as they've done with many other players who have been, let's say, dropped from a particular format, they have been in touch with him. They've kept him in the loop. He was told of his exclusion. It wasn't something that was something of a shock to him. And he was also told that the reason they were actually removing him from the team for now is because they wanted to test out some new players. Now, of course, it is worth noting that India are really only playing two major test series now in this year. There will be the West Indies series, and in December they will be traveling to South Africa. Now, trying out new players in South Africa was going to make no sense, which is why they have chosen to use the West Indies series as the time for experimentation, and that is why Pujara is not there. What's more, Pujara clearly has not given up on a test career, because right after it was announced that he's dropped from the side, it was also reported that he will be available to play the Duleep Trophy. Now, the Duleep Trophy, of course, is a tournament that is basically there. It's in place for India hopefuls in some ways. And Pujara, if he's playing that, it's aside from the fact of his veteran status and the fact that he's played a lot of test cricket, also means that he knows that the door is very much open from him. In fact, that's something that was pretty much confirmed by a source within the BCCI to newspaper The Times of India. This is what they had said. It said that if he, that is Pujara, scores runs in domestic cricket, the doors are not closed on him, and that has been communicated to him. This part here is key, the second half, and that has been communicated to him. He has been told very clearly that if you perform well in domestic cricket, continue to get runs, then there's every chance that you will get a comeback. And truth be told, there is a lot of criticism on the BCCI for how it is they communicate such things sometimes, but there has been a level of consistency when you're looking at how it is the board has done things in recent times when it comes to, let's say, telling players whether or not they're still in the scheme of things. In fact, if you're talking of recent examples, Ishant Sharma, who hasn't really played a test match for a while, was informed very clearly of his exclusion by the BCCI. The same was the case really with Ridhiman Saha. You remember Saha was told very clearly, he himself said as much to the media, that he was informed that the team are looking past him and that they would not be looking to select him for test matches in the future. So again, this is nothing new. Both Ishant and Ridhiman Saha were told very clearly that the team are looking to move on from both of them, and neither have been selected for India up until this point. Now, of course, never say never is always a caveat, but it is good to see that there's a lot of consistency there. So if there was any chance that Cheteshwar Pujara might actually be done with test cricket, the selectors and team management would have made it very clear to him that, look, you're not part of the test squad right now, but we're not going to look to select you in the future either. So that's it. Your test career is as good as over at this point. That wasn't told to him. He was told very clearly that you're being kept out of the team for now because we need a place, or we need a time to test out these new youngsters. You will be back in the squad if you perform well in domestic cricket. So if you're a fan of Cheteshwar Pujara, if you're a fan of what it is that he brings to the sport of test cricket, be assured that his time in the sun is still not done, not by a long shot. All he needs are a few good scores in domestic cricket, and Pujara will be back. In fact, it's likely that you will see him back for the tour of South Africa, because that is of course going to be a tougher tour than what, say, West Indies away would be. Pujara is not done yet, and that has been made very, very clear to him. But are you a fan of the fact that Pujara might still get a test comeback? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and don't forget to download the AajTak app as well. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. But for now, from my side, goodbye.